Hey guys, welcome back to Total Tailgating at NTP. We are actually indoors today because the weather's calling for rain, but it's kind of sunny outside, so I don't know what the deal is. But today we are going to actually be doing a bourbon review. This is 1816, Chattanooga 1816 cask strength whiskey. Whiskey to the people. Guys, this is batch 18A24. Really strong stuff. We've got 113.6 proof, guys, so be responsible. Do not drive. If you're pregnant or could be pregnant, for the ladies out there, just don't try this. And at the same time, we're going to give it a shot. What we're going to do is we're going to try it neat. We'll try it with a dash of water, which is the way I like to drink it, and then we're going to make a couple cocktails. So let's go ahead and get started. And one thing you're going to note right away is this is very dark. It's a deep amber color, almost on the brown, nut brown side of the scale. And we'll just do a small sample of that. We've got to be, again, this is high proof, so we've got to be careful. And one thing I've noted on Chattanooga's regular, their reserve, is the sweetness tends more toward the mocha chocolate side. So we're going to see what we get with this. And the aroma, it's funny, I would think I would get a lot more of the alcohol heat on that, but not as much. Not as much as I would expect. Very smooth, surprisingly smooth for how high the proof is. A little bit of cinnamon, a little spice. The rye in this is a high rye whiskey, guys. So you're talking 75% corn, 21% rye in this, and 4% barley. So what you're getting is spiciness. You're getting a little spikier flavor profile. I'm getting some pepper, along with the cinnamon. And again, the finish on this, if you've never had Chattanooga whiskey before, the finish on this, it's dry, it's a little bit oily, and it has a bit of a baked, almost walnut kind of a finish to it, which is actually quite nice. It took me a little bit for my brain to kind of connect that I liked that particular finish on this whiskey, but once I did, I really enjoy it quite a bit. And I'm glad to see that you're getting it even with the higher proof. This really, it surprisingly does not have a huge amount of alcohol burn. I would think there would be a lot more. Really quite smooth, but you can tell this is a higher proof whiskey. All right, let's try it with a couple dashes of water. Now, what this is going to do, in case you haven't seen our other episodes, what this is going to do is actually push any oil-soluble compounds in the whiskey, but it's also going to absorb any of the water-soluble compounds, and so it will dramatically change the flavor experience that you're going to get. It will actually increase the punch in some regards, but also smooth it out in other regards. And wow, the change is dramatic. I get a lot of the alcohol get pushed to the back of my throat. It intensifies the oil, intensifies the oiliness, and intensifies a little bit of that nuttiness, that sort of baked essence, and really is quite nice. And I think that is exactly the way that I would sip this whiskey. A few dashes of water is fantastic. And this is the way I do, most of the whiskey that I enjoy with a few dashes of water. I think this is definitely one of those. Of course, if you like it neat, you can have it neat. If you want ice cubes in there, just keep in mind that ice is going to dull your tongue's ability to taste the whiskey, all right? Let's put that aside. Too much of that. And let's go ahead and, you're thinking about this. It's got a cinnamon flavor. It actually has a little bit of that. If you're a Buffalo Trace drinker, you'll have that little kind of dried orange in this sense, in this whiskey, the Chattanooga. And that orange tells me, the citrus flavor tells me, we probably want to make a sour out of this. And we're going to give that a try. Okay, so what I've got here, I got my shaker. We're going to load this about halfway to 3/4 with ice. I don't know if you can hear me over the sound of the ice. I have the magic ice-making floor, by the way. My floor makes ice for me. So we'll fill that about halfway. And what I'm going to add to that is I want just a little bit of, I'm going to do about a teaspoon each. I'm going to make 2 of these, enough for 2. I'm going to do a bar spoon each of egg white. And actually, I didn't really get those very well full, so I'm going to do another one just for good measure. because eggs tend to be finicky. Egg whites tend to be finicky. Now this is optional, guys. If you're worried about salmonella or whatever, then that just leave it off. That's no big deal. Or you can buy, I think you can buy pasteurized egg whites now. So we're going to add to that about an ounce and a half of orange juice per, so that's 3 ounces there. And we're going to squeeze some fresh lemon. And I always recommend squeezing your citrus, your orange juice, your lemon juice fresh. So we're going to do that right now. And again, I'm not going to measure this. I want about a half an ounce each, but about a half of a lemon each is going to work really quite well. All right, so we're making 2. Let's go ahead and throw another one in and juice that. That goes in. A lot of the sours recipes are going to have just lemon, and that's fine. I like to add the orange juice for a little bit of warmth, a little bit of sweetness. I just like the way that it works. Now, finally, we want a little bit of simple syrup, all right? So I'm going to do, I don't like these to be too sweet. I like my sours to be sour, so I'm going to do a bar spoon each. So that's going to be roughly a teaspoon. You can do a half an ounce if you like it a little bit sweeter, that's fine. And we are ready to give that a shake after we put in our whiskey, which is important. Don't want to leave out that step. Now, I'm going to do an ounce and a half. So we're going to do an ounce and a half each. So this is going to be basically an ounce and a half is a 6 count. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be about 3 ounces there. Put on our lid. Give it a shake. And you want to shake these things, guys. Don't limp wrist it. Give it a shake. We want to dilute it. And we want the rim of our shaker, I have a double-walled shaker, we want the rim to be frosted like that. And that's exactly what we're looking for. All right, so we've got a couple glasses. Chilled, when you chill your glass, you don't just put ice in it. I've seen people just put ice in it. Don't throw ice in there. Put water with the ice, guys. If you want the thing cold, you got to have contact. So put some water in there. That'll actually chill that glass. And now we are ready to pour. Let's see what we got. Pour and garnish is basically what we have left. All right, now you can see that egg white is going to make it a little bit frothy. I have actually taken the shaker ball from a protein drink glass and use that to help froth. It's kind of nice. All right. And put a garnish with that. There's our sour. Just like that. And I think I'm going to have to go ahead and give this a try. That's nice. It's not too sweet. It's refreshing. You can still get the whiskey coming through, but it's definitely a nice whiskey sour. Actually, I'm going to give that one more try. On a hot summer day, it's a little bit humid today. This is really, really going to be enjoyable if you have some friends over. And I've got some friends to share these with, so we'll put those aside and take care of that in a little bit, but we're going to do one more. We decided not to just stop at one. We're also going to make a whiskey old-fashioned, okay? So we're going to take a rocks glass, and again, I am going to throw a little ice in this one. And what we're going to need for this, this is a stirred. I'm going to stir this right in the glass, okay? So what we're going to need is an ounce and a half. Like that. To that, we're going to add, I should have done this first actually, but we're going to add, actually this might help because we had trouble getting our sugar cube to dissolve last time. Sugar cube, a few drops of bitters, 3-4 drops, whatever you want to do. And we're going to break that up. This spoon comes in handy. It'll break up that sugar cube and also stir it. And really the flair to this one, so this is going to sweeten it. It's going to add a lot of nice spices to it with those bitters. And once that's all dissolved, the flair to this one is we're going to garnish this with an orange peel, but we're going to flame it first. Remember, this Chattanooga has more of a dried orange sort of an essence to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to flame the oils in this orange and put that in. And it's going to add a little bit of orange essence. And you can see if you just squeeze that peel a little bit, you can actually get it to flame for you. Try it one more time here. Just like that. All right, and then drop it in, okay? Now we should be able to get that on the aroma. Very much. It's a very different than a fresh orange peel garnish. Yeah, all right, let's give it a try. And that is good. Very different than the sour. More, obviously more forward with the whiskey. The little bit of bitters gives it a little bit of punch. Kind of rounds out the flavor profile. I really like these bitters, by the way. These are blackstrap bitters that I got with some Glenlivet, I think, that I purchased. But yeah, you can use Angostura or whatever. And this is a nice, and the ice, you can take it or leave it, I think, with these. But the Old Fashioned is simple. It's very good, and it actually really, I think, highlights this Chattanooga cask strength very well, guys. All right, so there are the recipes for us. We basically had neat. We dashed it with some water. We did a sour recipe for you, and we also did a whiskey Old Fashioned. Be sure to try these at home. See what you like, and especially try them at home. If you try them out, make sure you take a taxi home. That's going to do it for us for today. We're going to go ahead and share these around because this is way too much for me to be handling in one sitting for sure. And we'll catch you next time. If you guys want to support us, go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/NTP. You can throw a little money in the kitty. That'll help us keep doing these videos if you enjoy them. And until next time, guys, I'll see you on Total Tailgating.